once again to you, our love family. This is Voice to Love. We teach love, for this is who we are. I'm joined here by our guest host, Aurelie, who's joining me on this special media podcast series, which has been really, really fascinating and informing based on all your feedback. Looks like we need to continue doing this and need to keep educating everyone and show everyone what the true way is. Let's keep voicing the love. So, in this specific episode, we are talking about how the media has influenced people around a very touching topic, very a live topic in the sense that it happens to everyone around the world almost on a daily basis. And it's around violence and crime and war. And Aurelie and I have done some research, as we always do, to inform and educate you, our family of love, and look at ways we can, get rid of this way of living on this planet. Because Voice of Love is really about everyone coming together and working on eradicating all these forms of violence, all these forms of war and crime, because we really don't need that as people, I believe, who have evolved from a time frame where it was sort of like something that was accepted, like culturally, traditionally, and in my opinion, in our day and age, this is something we should shun upon completely. And there's no reason for that not to happen. We should definitely focus on ways where we can all just live in a really harmonized state as individuals, as a family, as humanity. And that's what we're here to do, share with you, our family of love. Okay, so yeah, the topic is the media's influence on people as far as war, crime, and violence is concerned. And the media plays a significant role in influencing people's perceptions and attitudes towards violence, war, and crime around the world. Here is a list of points highlighting how the media exerts this influence. In this particular case, I'm going to hand over to Aurelie, who's going to take us through some of the points, and I'll finish off with the rest of the points. Please engage with us. And if there's something that resonates with you that you've probably been through, please share it with us. Would like to know. And let's engage in conversation. And yeah, over to you, Aurelie.
Yeah, hello, family of love, and thank you for watching. So the first influence on people around war, crime, and violence that we've been facing or dealing with on a constant, regular daily basis is framing and agenda setting. Media organizations decide what stories to cover and how to frame them. And this can shape public perception by prioritizing certain issues and downplaying others. For example, sensationalized.
Thank
you. Yeah, last time I also had a difficulty with that word, so thank you for your help. Sensationalized. I'll get it right, I promise. For example, sensationalized crime stories may dominate headlines, leading people to believe that crime rates are higher than they actually are. And I feel personally, this is what's happening in our daily news. Often we are being shown all these, these perceptions on crimes that look like they are happening all the time everywhere, and they are at higher rates. So personally, that's why I stopped watching the news, because I don't need to feed myself, my mind, with such negativity on a constant basis. So that's a choice that we can all make. And again, I'm going to advise you or encourage you to be mindful about what information you allow to come into your mind or bring into your mind, especially on a regular basis, because it really has an imprint on our mind and on our brain. Okay, and influence number 2 from the media is on people around the same topic is sensationalism. Media often sensationalize violent and criminal acts to attract viewers or readers, leading to an exaggerated perception of the prevalence of such incidents. So again, it's kind of building up to what I just shared with you. This point number 3 is fear mongering. News outlets frequently use fear-inducing headlines and imagery, making people feel more vulnerable to crime and violence, even when crime rates are declining. So again, what we watch, encourages certain behaviors and actions in people if they are very sensitive to whatever they are watching, or taking into their brain and mind. And yeah, the fear mongering has had a big influence on people around crime, war, violence. And that's why we keep seeing it often, on the media. So point number 4 is desensitization. Repeated exposure to violent and graphic images in the media can desensitize individuals, making them less sensitive to real-world violence and war atrocities. It's like we become accustomed to whatever we watch. We're becoming used to it, and it becomes nearly like something normal, where it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be something accepted or normal to see such violence, or crime or war, especially in our day and age.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like
just to touch on that. So desensitizing is like making people non-sensitive. So when you're sensitive to something, it's obviously something that's impacting you on an emotional level. And when you get desensitized, it's like you're emotionless, and you just don't care. And it's like nothing actually happened, nothing is happening. So that's a really good point that you've picked up on there, Aurelie. It's something that we really need to focus on and consider by looking at ourselves on a microscopic level and just realize how much we have as individuals being desensitized. It's so important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for adding to this information. Yeah. And that leads to the next point, the next way of influence is number 5, normalizing violence. So it's like violence is being normalized in our daily life where it shouldn't. It shouldn't be normalized, but it has become normalized, something normal. And so the media, often has or make frequent portrayals of violent acts that can normalize the violence in society, making it seem more acceptable or inevitable. And personally, I don't feel that's right.
No, that's not right.
It's not right. It should have been that way. I mean, even when you watch video games nowadays, I mean, most of the video games I see being advertised, for example, on social media, are portraying violence, like video games that contain so much violence. So imagine our youth, doing interaction or actually reproducing this act of violence, whether it's on a video game or on within their behavior. You never know, at school or wherever. That has become something normal because it's being advertised as normal. So again, important to be mindful what we allow our children, to do, to behave as, and to watch as well, but also to play with, because those video games are extremely violent and they encourage more violence. And then no wonder why we see so much violence.